Hi there! In this mini-series, I'll be quickly, and as effortlessly as possible, guiding you through how to get all gold licenses in every Gran Turismo 7 license test, from National B all the way through to Super. In this video, we're tackling National B. I'll break down everything I'm doing for you in pieces so that you understand how to best tackle each test. This guide will be focusing on the PS5 controller, which is presumably what most people will be using for Gran Turismo 7. The same principles apply if you're using a wheel and pedals, except they'll be a lot more straightforward. Now, I know you're keen to get going, and perhaps even stuck on one or more of these tests and want to get straight into it, so we'll move on shortly. But very quickly, I am compelled by the YouTube creator Hidden Code of Conduct to remind you that this will indeed be a mini-series coming out very rapidly over this weekend, so make sure you're subscribed to get notified of when we release the other license test tutorials in the very, very near future. Now, let's get it. Before we get to the license tests, we have to make sure that our assists are set up to give us our best chance. With a wheel and pedal set, I would recommend turning all assists off. However, for those of us doing these tests on the PS5 controller, I'd recommend the following settings. Steer with the left stick, and accelerate with the left and right triggers for maximum control. Set shifting to manual so that you can optimize your torque band and engine braking. Traction control at 1, ABS on weak, and steering assist on weak. If you find the game is steering you off the track without your permission, feel free to disable steering assists entirely. Just know that you'll have to finesse the left stick a lot more in order to keep the car's back end in check. Finally, make sure to watch these two bars as you analyze the runs. The right bar tells you how much throttle I'm applying, while the left bar tells you how much brake I'm applying. This is a simple test where you just need to pick a brake marker and hit the brakes until the car stops. Instead of doing what I did here, you can launch the car at full throttle. Simply smash the brake between the orange cones and 50 board while downshifting to slow down with engine braking. I hit the brakes marginally late in this run, causing me to over-brake and smoke up the tyres at the end. Still good enough for gold, so this shouldn't cause you many issues. Now, let's say that again. Like before, this is a simple test to slow the car down as fast as possible, this time with a faster, heavier vehicle. Launch the car at full throttle. Hit the brakes between the cones and orange 200 board, using aggressive downshifting to help you slow the car down. Nice and easy. Now, let's see that again. This is a simple cornering test where you need to turn right uphill on a wide sweeping hairpin. Go straight toward the curb until you reach the tyre scuff mark on the left. Once you reach it, turn in toward the apex while maintaining full throttle. Lift off the throttle quickly as you reach the apex to get the car to turn in, and back on the throttle as soon as you're facing the right way, using the entire track to run off. Let's see that again. My apologies for no sound in this run. My capture card was having a lot of issues and corrupting footage. The principle on this test is exactly the same as the prior run, however this time we're in a faster car. We have to shift up to third gear as soon as we start. We tap the brake and turn in from the same point as before, then downshift to second gear in order to slow us down and tighten the turning circle. Once we hit the apex, we get back on the throttle and run out wide, using the entire width of the track to cross the line. Now, let's watch that again. In this test, we chain two corners together. It's quite simple as we can keep the throttle pinned the entire way through this run, putting most of our attention on finessing the left stick to maintain the right racing line. You can cut the curb on the right quite aggressively, running off toward the left side of the track, all with full throttle. We then hug the left side of the track and run off toward the right, maximizing our exit across the finish line. Now, let's see that again. Same test as before, but with a faster car. We begin by accelerating and shifting up to third while facing toward the left side of the track. We then tap the brake while turning in toward the apex and downshifting to help slow the car down and stop it from running wide. We have to be patient and only get on the throttle after the apex, after which point we simply repeat what we did with the first car. Now, let's watch that again. In this test, we have to pick a brake marker and slow down in order to make a sweeping downhill hairpin turn to the left. The trick here is managing the effect of gravity during our descent, which will naturally push us wide on the exit. We brake at the left-hand turn sign while turning in slightly toward the center of the road and downshift slowly down to third so we don't destabilize the car. We have to wait until we've crossed past the apex in order to apply the throttle, because the camber of the road will push us out wide if we accelerate early. Now, let's say that again. In this test, we have to brake hard in order to make a tight 90-degree left-hander with not much runoff. We brake hard between the 50 and 100 boards in a straight line, while easing off the brake as we turn in. Once we cross the apex, we can apply the throttle, using the runoff on the right side of the track and cross the finish line. Now, let's see that again. In this test, we have to chain together two corners, one which is flat out and another which requires braking in a straight line in order to complete. Simply go flat out over the first apex, running off toward the curb on the left of the track. As soon as you straighten out the car, get on the brakes, downshifting to second gear while clipping the apex of the corner on the right. Gently get on the power as soon as you cross the apex and use all of the curb runoff on the left to cross the finish line. Now, let's see that again. In our final test, we're chaining it all together over the first half of Scuba. Go flat out over the S's, creating as straight a line for yourself as possible. Get on the brakes just before the curb on the right ends and downshift rapidly down to second gear. Stay tight around the inside of the hairpin and only get on the throttle when you're facing the exit curb. Head toward the left-hand clipping point of the track, then tap the brake while turning in aggressively and holding third gear. Get on the throttle after you cross the apex and head toward the left side of the track. Flat out now toward the end, running off toward the right side of the track. Feel free to lift the throttle momentarily if the car tries to run outside. Now, let's see that again. There we are, all 10 license tests in the National B category done to a gold standard. I believe in you. Get out there and get it done. Make sure to subscribe to get notified of the other license test gold tutorials getting posted very shortly. Let me know what you thought down below or if there's anything else you'd like to see. If there are any basic racing concepts in this you didn't understand, I'm going to link a video on the screen where I guide you through the elementary basics of sim racing and racecraft. That might help you out if you're completely new to all of this. So until National License A, I'll see you all later.